You think she doesn't care? Think again. Her silence. It's a storm inside her, and you're the only one who doesn't see it. On the outside, she might seem like she's fine, like she's moved on, but deep inside, it's eating away at her. The moment you stopped putting in effort, the moment you stopped reaching out, everything changed. At first, she might think it's nothing, that you'll come back around eventually. But as time passes, self-doubt starts to creep in. Did I mess this up? Why isn't he coming after me? What happened to him? The uncertainty begins to consume her, and that's when panic takes root. She never expected you to back off. She always thought you'd be there, waiting for her. Now it's her turn to wait, to wonder, to question everything. The second you pulled back, it shifted the balance. She's the one feeling the loss now. If you believe she's totally fine or doesn't think about you, think again. Stick with me, and I'll break down exactly what goes on in her mind when you stop giving her the attention she craves. Once you understand this, you'll know why chasing her is the last thing you should do. The silent power play. Why saying nothing says everything. When a woman hurts you, your gut reaction might be to speak up, demand clarity, or express how deeply she's impacted you. But here's the thing. That's exactly what she expects. She's waiting for the emotional outburst, the plea for answers, the chase. But the true power lies in silence. Nothing throws her off more than when you refuse to react. Why? Because women are wired to expect emotional responses. When they hurt you, they're anticipating some kind of feedback, a way to gauge whether they still have control over your feelings. But when you don't give her that reaction, when you stay completely composed, it flips the script entirely. Why is he so calm? Did he not care at all? Is he already moving on? These questions will start to race through her mind, and with every passing second of uncertainty, the balance shifts in your favor. Silence forces her to face herself, alone with her thoughts, without the validation of seeing you react emotionally. It takes away the satisfaction of knowing she still has power over you. And this isn't about playing mind games, it's about respecting your own worth. You're not ignoring her to get back at her. You're choosing not to waste your energy on someone who can't appreciate you. The moment she realizes you're no longer chasing her approval, that's when she starts questioning everything. 2. Turning the tables. How to shift the power in your favor. When a man gets hurt by a woman, the natural instinct is often to chase harder, trying to make her see how much he cares. Or worse, he might lash out, hoping to make her feel guilty. But here's the harsh truth. Both reactions only hand her the power. When you chase, you're reinforcing her sense of importance. When you react emotionally, you're giving her control over how you feel. The real power move? You flip the script entirely. Instead of desperately trying to prove your worth or win her back, you simply walk away. You focus on your own growth, your goals, and your own life. That's the moment everything changes. She thought you would fight for her, that you'd be chasing after her validation. She thought she had time to keep you on standby, that you'd always be there. But when you pull away, when you stop playing by her rules, that's when she starts to wonder. The worst part? She has no idea where she stands anymore. Did I misjudge him? Why isn't he fighting for me? Has he really moved on? And this is where everything shifts. You're no longer in the position of waiting for her approval. Now, it's her turn to wonder about you. 3. The fear of losing you. What happens when you disappear? Here's a truth most men don't realize. A woman only starts to truly value what she thinks she might lose. When you were always there, quick to respond, constantly chasing, and showing her you still cared, there was no sense of urgency for her to appreciate you. In her mind, you'd always be around. But the moment that certainty disappears, that's when panic sets in. When you pull back, stop reacting, and become more distant, That's when everything changes. Now every text you don't reply to, every moment of silence, and every day that passes without a word from you makes her question if she's losing you. At first, she'll try to act unaffected. She won't text first. She'll act like she's fine, like she's unbothered. But deep down, it's a different story. She's already starting to scroll through your old messages, re-watching your social media posts, checking her phone more often, hoping for a notification from you. That's when the shift happens. She was once in control of the situation, but now she feels out of control. She starts to realize that the reassurance she once had from you is no longer there, and that uncertainty, it's exactly what pushes her to start chasing you. 4. When she starts testing your boundaries. Once she realizes she's no longer in control, she won't just wait and wonder. She'll start testing you. In her mind, she needs to know, does he still care? Can I still make him react? Has he really moved on? And how does she test you? It might be something subtle, like sending a casual hey to see if you respond right away. Maybe she posts a picture with another guy, trying to provoke jealousy. Or she might start liking your old posts, watching your stories, just to see if you'll notice and react. This is where many men make their mistake. As soon as she throws out these signals, they fall right back into the pattern. They take the bait, respond too quickly, and reveal that she still holds some influence over them. But a man who understands his worth doesn't fall for it. He recognizes these tests for what they are, an attempt for her to regain control, and he stays composed. Because the real test isn't about her reaching out, it's about the effort she's willing to invest to fix things. If she truly regrets how things went down, she won't just send a half-hearted message. She'll put in the work to make things right. 5. The ultimate turnaround. She's the one who chases. When she finally realizes that her usual tactics aren't getting to you, something shifts inside her. For the first time, she's the one chasing after you. She texts more often. She finds excuses to reach out. She starts bringing up the good times you had together, trying to reconnect. Why? Because for the first time she feels like she's losing you, and that fear of losing something important? It's one of the strongest driving forces behind attraction. But here's where many men make a crucial mistake. As soon as they see her trying to make an effort, they let go of all the strength they've built. They forgive everything too easily. They make themselves available again, falling right back into the trap. The cycle resets. She realizes she's back in control. The challenge disappears, and so does the attraction. But a man who truly understands his value doesn't fall for this. He doesn't rush back. He doesn't reward bad behavior. Instead, he makes her prove herself, demonstrate that she's serious, before allowing her back in. And that's when he truly takes the lead. 6. The moment she regrets taking you for granted. When she finally realizes she's lost you for good, everything shifts. At first, she'll try to brush it off, convincing herself you'll eventually come back, that you'll be the one to break the silence. But when that doesn't happen, when she sees you moving forward without looking back, that's when the regret begins to creep in. At first, it's subtle, just a thought here and there. But soon, it floods her mind. She starts to replay the past, reflecting on what she once took for granted. How you supported her, how you were always there when she needed you, how you made her feel safe and valued. Now, all of that is gone, replaced by a sense of doubt. Did I make a mistake? Why isn't he chasing me anymore? Has he really moved on? At first, she might try to distract herself. Maybe she starts dating someone new, goes out with friends, or throws herself into her work. But those distractions don't last. Because late at night, when she's alone with her thoughts, she feels it, the silence, the emptiness, the realization that the man who once gave everything for her is no longer around. And that realization, It haunts her. Why? Because women don't typically regret losing a man right away. Regret sets in when they see that he's truly gone, that there's no turning back. And when that reality hits, the panic really starts to set in. 7. When she watches you from afar. Even if she doesn't reach out immediately, you can bet she's keeping a close eye on you. She'll check your social media more often than usual, ask mutual friends about you, and try to get a sense of what you're up to without actually contacting you. At first, she'll convince herself it's just curiosity. She's not missing you, she's just wondering what you're doing. But deep down, she's searching for signs to see if you've moved on, if you're happy without her, if you still care. And then, when she sees you thriving, when she notices you're not stuck in the past, when you're living your life without looking back, that's when the panic truly kicks in. Because now, it's not just about regret. It's the fear that someone else is stepping into her shoes, giving you the love and attention she never truly valued. She starts to wonder, what if he's found someone else? What if she's making him happier than I ever did? What if I was just a fleeting chapter in his life and not the one he'll remember? That fear starts to gnaw at her because, for a woman, the greatest emotional trigger is the thought that another woman is getting the love she once had. And if she truly valued you, there's no way she'll sit back and accept that reality. 8. When she realizes she's losing control of you. Here's something most men don't realize. Even when a woman seems to have moved on, she still wants to feel like she can have you back if she chooses to. As long as she believes you'll always be there, ready to respond or come back if she changes her mind, she doesn't fully feel the loss. But when she starts seeing you move forward, focusing on yourself, leveling up, and no longer waiting around for her, that's when she truly starts feeling the shift. Suddenly, she can't just text you and expect an immediate reply. She can't post something and assume you'll react. For the first time, she realizes she's no longer the one holding the reins. She's lost control of the situation. And when a woman realizes she can't easily pull you back into her orbit, something inside her changes. Her attraction spikes because now she's the one who has to fight for your attention. She's the one who has to chase you. And that shift, that's when she starts to truly want you back. 9. When she starts sending mixed signals. At this point, confusion starts to set in for her, and she's unsure of how to proceed. So she tests the waters without fully opening up. She won't admit to her feelings just yet, but she'll send out small signals to gauge your reaction. Maybe she likes one of your posts out of the blue, or she sends you a message, pretending it's an accidental slip-up. She may post things specifically designed to grab your attention, but here's the key. This isn't about her wanting to fix things. It's about her trying to see if she still has control over you. And here's where you need to be cautious. If you react too quickly, if you start texting her back the moment she reaches out, or if you get overly excited that she's paying attention again, you'll be showing her that she hasn't lost her influence. You'll make it feel too easy for her to regain control, and the cycle will just repeat. Instead of falling for her subtle attempts, stay composed and patient. If she genuinely wants to come back, she has to prove it. She needs to put in the real work, not play games. You're not here for the same old routine. You're looking for authentic change. 10. When she finally makes her move to win you back. If you've managed to stay strong and detached throughout this whole process, you'll eventually reach a point where she realizes that her usual tactics aren't working, and she has no choice but to make a real move. This isn't going to be just another random message or a casual reach-out. It's going to be much more intentional. She's going to start showing real regret, and it will be clear in her actions. She'll bring up the past, trying to explain herself and the reasons behind her behavior. She might even apologize, something she swore she'd never do, something she probably never thought she needed to do. At this stage, you have all the power in the dynamic. The game has changed, and now it's no longer about her desires or what she wants to prove. It's all about what you want, and whether you're willing to welcome her back into your life. You're the one who gets to decide. Do you let her back in, or do you continue moving forward without her? Do you stay true to the boundaries you've set and make sure she meets the new standards you've raised for yourself? Or will you settle for the same old patterns that led to this point? The reality is, this entire journey wasn't about trying to get her back. It was about reclaiming your own power and rediscovering your own worth. The moment you stop chasing external validation and start focusing on your own growth, you begin to realize that you are the prize. Once you truly understand that, you'll never need to chase after someone else's approval again. You'll only allow people into your life who align with your values, respect you for who you are, and prove they're worthy of your time and energy. And when she finally makes her move, you'll know exactly what to do because you've already done the most important thing, taken control of your own life. 11. When she tries to make you jealous. At this point, she's starting to feel desperate. She realizes that she no longer holds any real power over you, and that realization starts to unsettle her. So what does she do in an attempt to regain control? She tries to trigger an emotional reaction from you. She may post pictures with other guys, comment on another man's social media posts, or suddenly appear happier than she's ever been. On the surface, it may look like she's moved on, but here's the truth. It's all for show. She's not doing this because she's genuinely over you. She's doing it to see if she can still get a rise out of you. She wants to see if you'll text her out of jealousy. She wants to know if she still holds any emotional influence over you. She's testing whether you'll crack under pressure or if you'll react in a way that gives her the reassurance that she still has a place in your life. And here's where most men fall right into the trap. They start reacting, throwing comments her way, trying to show that they've moved on, or even getting petty to make it clear that they can live without her. But a man who truly understands his worth doesn't take the bait. He remains composed and focused on his own journey, because the moment you show her that her attempts to play games with your emotions have no impact on you, she starts to feel the shift. Instead of holding the reins, she's left wondering why you're not playing along, and that's when the power starts to slip back into your hands. She'll begin to realize that she's the one who's losing ground. 12. When she starts overcompensating. At this stage, the pressure's mounting for her. Her usual tactics, like making you jealous, sending mixed signals, or trying to test you, have all failed, and she's starting to feel the weight of losing you. That's when the overcompensating begins. She might suddenly become unnervingly nice to you, acting like nothing ever happened. She'll like every single one of your posts, hoping that constant interaction will grab your attention. She might even start sending long, heartfelt messages, trying to rekindle the connection you once had. But here's where most men make a big mistake. They get excited far too quickly. They take her sudden effort as a sign that she genuinely wants to get back together for good. But the reality is, she's not acting out of true remorse. She's acting out of panic. She's looking for reassurance. She wants to know that she can still have you in her life, that if she changes her mind, you'll still be there, ready and willing to take her back. She's trying to validate her own worth in your eyes, not necessarily rebuild the connection. So, before you get swept up in her sudden surge of attention, ask yourself, is she truly showing remorse for her actions, or is this just a response to the fear of losing you for good? Is her effort consistent, or is it just a temporary fix to patch things up for the moment? Is she genuinely working on rebuilding the trust and the connection that was lost, Or is she simply hoping you'll take her back without real change? If she's not proving her sincerity with consistent actions, then what she's offering is just a short-term game to regain control. Meanwhile, you're playing for long-term value, and that means ensuring that any relationship you invest in moving forward is based on genuine growth, understanding, and respect, not just fear and desperation. 13. When she hopes you'll settle for just being friends. At this point, if all else fails, she might make one last attempt to keep you in her life. She'll suggest being friends. But here's the key. She's not suggesting this because she truly values your friendship. She's doing it because she wants to keep you around as a backup. Think about it. If she genuinely wanted to be friends, she wouldn't act distant or strange when you stop responding. She wouldn't feel jealous when she sees you moving on and doing better without her. She wouldn't constantly check in, trying to see if you've truly moved on. This isn't about the friendship. This is about her needing an emotional safety net. She wants to ensure that if she ever changes her mind, you'll still be there, ready and willing to jump back into her life. So, here's the big question. Are you okay with being her backup plan? Are you fine with just being an option she keeps on standby for whenever she feels like coming back around? If your answer is no, then it's time to recognize your worth. A high-value man doesn't settle for scraps. He doesn't settle for being anyone's second choice or emotional safety net. If this video gave you insight or value, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. And if you're curious about what comes next, the video on your screen right now is exactly what you need to watch. Click on it and I'll see you there.